Welcome to the Bodacious Women in Cannabis podcast, the show where the bold and brilliant women cannabis business leaders share their journey and their expertise. Here's your host, Susan Burns.
Hi, this is your podcast host, Susan Burns. I am also a lawyer in the cannabis industry, and nothing delights me more than showcasing bodacious women in business. Today, we are talking with Dr. Sarah Brandon. Not only is she a doctor, she is the founder of Canna Companion. So you are in for a treat here today. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Brandon. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure. So tell us about Canna Companion and how you started that business and just explain what it is first and the mission and then let's go into how you started it, your development.
Sure. So Canna Companion is a hemp pet supplement company. We started in 2014, and it was kind of the love child of a long time research. How do I say this? I'll just go through the story. How's that? We'll just make it easier. So my husband and I were in veterinary school together, and he has some pretty significant joint issues and wanted to look at something that was
No pun intended.
yes, exactly, no pun intended.
Joint issues. Okay. All right.
So he started looking into medical cannabis and to see if that was something that he wanted to pursue for himself. And we decided that yes, it was something that he did want to pursue. So he started taking low dose cannabis to see how it helped, and it worked. He felt a lot better. And then we looked at our dog. We had a big Rottweiler at the time who had some pretty nasty hips, and we just wanted to see what would happen. So we gave him cannabis, and we didn't know what was in it. We didn't have any way to test it at the time. This was over 20 years ago. And we noticed that for 24 hours, he didn't need any of his other pain medications.
Wow.
So that was really the start of us kind of going, there's something to this.
Yeah, that would make you think that. How did you give it to your dog, just out of curiosity, when you started doing it?
We had a nugget of marijuana and we just fed it to him.
And he ate it.
It was really the wrong thing to do, knowing what we do now, but
he ate it.
Oh yeah, he'd eat anything you gave him.
Oh, my dog would turn his nose up at it and sniff it. Oh, wow, that's fortunate. Even though it was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's the wrong thing to do, not something I would necessarily repeat now, but we were at least doing it under the idea of an informal clinical trial. So we knew what we were monitoring for. We had, both of us had been in the veterinary field well prior to getting into medical school. So we knew what we were looking for. He got a little bit high, but not bad. Nothing that was scary. And like I said, the next day he felt really good, and he was up and running around, and no pain control was needed for him. But what we decided to do from there was true to our scientific brains. We got out the old trusty handwritten lab notebooks and started giving cannabis to every dog and cat we could find. I mean, everybody, healthy, not healthy. We just wanted to see what would happen, and we kept notes. And throughout veterinary school, we did this, and then we decided to move. That was back in Oklahoma. We decided to move to Washington State, and we met. Actually, my husband was in emergency medicine at that time, and one of his nurses had a medical marijuana card. We ended up being her grower. She is now she is our COO of the business. And now that we had that medical growing license, we were actually able to start testing everything. So then we got really picky about it. We were still giving cannabis to our pets, any fosters we had, our patients, if their pet parents consented, and we kept notes of everything. So that process got us to 2014 when we started the company. And initially, when you ordered the product, you could only order it online. You had to fill out an intake form. That intake form was all kinds of information about the pet. That went into our database, same information that we'd been taking for the prior 15 years. And we just continued doing that. And as we put more and more data into our database, and it grew and grew and grew, the company started growing. And right now we have over 10,000 patients in our database that we can draw from. We use that to develop new products. We use that to educate veterinarians and pet parents. We decided that we were going to be the ones to be out there and be available in real life scenarios, if you will, hoping that our colleagues that were more on the academic side would pick up that side of the research. Thankfully, they have in the last few years as hemp became legal, they started doing that. So that's kind of Canna Companion in a nutshell.
Wow. And so you sell only to canines or cats too, feline and
Cats and dogs. We actually have several exotics and horses that are using our products as well. But
really.
we don't have products specific for them yet. They're still just dog and cat is what we have available.
That's great. And so you've grown into this amazing business and 10,000, you have patients, 10,000 patients.
I consider them patients. That's the doctor and me. I suppose they would be clients, technically. But we do have 10,000 pets in our database.
I mean,
So,
you have
yeah.
10,000 pets or whatever other kind of animal they are. I guess they're all pets. So, okay, so your inspiration for this was really born out of a human need.
It was originally. It really was.
That translated over to your dearly beloved canine companion. So, what's currently your favorite part of the business?
I think I still like the consultations the best. We have always provided free consultations. You can have a consultation with a nurse or myself, a doctor. We don't charge for them, and it really helps me stay in touch and understand what pet parents are going through, what their needs are. Getting that real life input helps me understand what's going on with the endocannabinoid system and how pets respond to that, how we can tweak it, and fine tune everything. That's absolutely my favorite part. I only can do it one hour a week, but it is my favorite hour every week.
Nice, very nice. Since 2014, you're coming up on a 10-year anniversary here, which is definitely nothing to sneeze at, especially in an industry that's been up and down and all around as hemp. I'm just wondering, so you must have had challenges in your business development and growth. Can you talk to us about some of those challenges and how you came through them or resolved them or turned them into a silver lining or what?
Yeah, I think the biggest initial challenge was just flat out education. We were ahead of the curve, so to speak, in that when we came out with our product, really people didn't know a lot about hemp, let alone CBD, which is now obviously the buzzword, but that people didn't have any concept of it. They just thought it was marijuana, cannabis, and marijuana were all the same thing. And what was this other thing, hemp? This applies to pet parents as well as veterinarians, and it was a challenge. It was a challenge educating people and getting them to understand
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that the plant wasn't bad. It was something that could help us, and it was something that had helped us actually in veterinary medicine about 100 years ago. It was a really good for horses. Horses have a GI issue called colic, and it was one of our primary modes of treatment was cannabis tincture. So it was something that kind
At
of,
the turn of the century.
yeah, in this country, yeah, it's very interesting. We used to use,
And then it went away.
yep, it went away as we got more and more quote unquote concerned about the problems of cannabis. I laugh because personally, I think that was a silly thing to do, but that was where it was. So that was kind of our challenge number one, and it was something we met willingly. We kind of knew that was going to be part of it going into the space. The other challenge was not so willing and has only recently become a little bit less stressful, and that's the banking system. It's been incredibly frustrating for a company that is legal in all aspects to not be able to take advantage of low interest rates, low processing rates, just simply to not be called a high risk company. That has been very frustrating. And we paid more thousands of dollars than I want to list in fees alone, um, until we were able to find a processor that thankfully was up and up. They were very upfront, they're very reasonable, and everything's working out great. We're still being penalized a little bit because, again, of the banking system itself and how that works with cannabis companies, but it's not near as bad as what it had been. And it's a less of a struggle now, and I look forward to when that won't be a struggle for anybody.
Yeah. So you're talking about an online processor for
Yeah, exactly.
taking your online payments. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Terrible. And are you, do you have a physical presence, like an office presence, or is everybody remote? Because my next question on that is, Lise.
We have a physical presence in that we have a manufacturing facility. So we do make the products there, but we don't sell products that way. We only sell them online or through distributors, retailers, and veterinary hospitals.
Okay. Because leasing is the other big problem for cannabis businesses, is the banking.
Yeah, we were fortunate on the leasing. Being in Washington State, the only thing they said was that they didn't want to have a marijuana company there, and that's all. They were fine with it after that. So that part was okay. The city was very open to us being there and leasing from the facility.
Okay. And then I also would like to know, when you started this, you just started because you were, I guess, kind of curious. What else can this do, right? How can this help? What are the benefits for which kinds of medical veterinarian issues? What has surprised you about the business that makes you happier, like that you didn't think would happen? Something that is such a huge benefit to you that you think, oh, I had no idea when I started this journey that this would be so amazing, or that I'd feel this good about X, Y, and Z, or that this door would open, or something like that. Something, because usually when we start on a journey, most people start businesses just like you do. I work in my practice. I work with small businesses in growth mode, and every single one of them starts with, oh, let me see how this works, and oh, this is, I think I'll sell this, and then it grows. But I think a lot of times things happen that people didn't expect.
You've stumped me. You have absolutely stumped me. I think the one thing that keeps popping into my head is that I didn't expect the veterinary community to open up to something that was coming out of prohibition quite this quickly. I thought we would have a few more years of pushback, a few more years of, no, we've got to have tons and tons of double-blinded studies that say that this is safe, effective, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't disagree that we need those things, but I don't think that means that we can't use these products or these compounds in dogs and cats. And I was really surprised that most of the veterinary community came to that same conclusion. They were willing to say, we don't know a lot about it, but there's a lot of people that are using it, and my patients that are on it don't seem to be dying.
Don't seem to be. That's encouraging.
It was very encouraging. I think that was probably the one thing that really surprised me, is their openness to it, to the point that they were quick and got out a cannabis in veterinary medicine textbook. We were fortunate to actually, my husband and I wrote the pharmacology chapter in that, but it was nice to see that available, so that upcoming students and already professionals that are out there, that they wanted to learn more about it, they would have something to look at.
That's actually amazing, because the human medical profession is way far behind that, and nobody even teaches about the endocannabinoid system.
Yeah, it's not taught in veterinary schools either, but it is being circulated in continuing education courses. There are a couple of facilities now, organizations that you can get certifications for, so at least you have some kind of training and can pass that on to pet parents and even other veterinarians. If you're a nurse and you got a nursing certification for this, but the veterinarians you work with don't know anything about it, then you can go back and teach them. And that's kind of how we ended up getting one of our nurses. We have two nurses, our COO and then our customer service. And our customer service went through that. He went through an extra certification, so he came with that when we nabbed him.
Oh, nice. What are some of the most amazing turnarounds you've seen in pets that are using CBD products?
Oh man, there's so
Do
many
you
of
have
them.
any stories about that? Like what, I mean, so I guess that would be something I would think of in your industry that you would say, "Wow, I had no idea that this could do this." And I'm sort of analogizing to an experience I had when I was studying aromatherapy, and um, one of my nephews fell and bumped his head, and he got a big bruiser. And I went and looked at my book, and I mixed up some stuff, and I put it on, and the bruise was gone in an hour. And I was like, and I've been reading about it and going, yeah, of course that makes sense. That makes sense. Of course it's going to work. And then I put it on, and I'm like, holy crap, it works. Like it does what they said it did. I just was kind of shocked by it. Like, oh,
I think the thing that well, there's a lot of different turnarounds, but my version of that story would be the first time that we had a cancer patient that actually went into remission. Um, I'm not a big person on saying it's a cure. I'm a scientist, so I don't deal in absolutes necessarily. But it was a dog, and he went into remission within a few months. It was the neatest thing, and lived. I think he only passed away last year, so he had to have been 17, 18 by that point. Great little dachshund dog. So that's kind of on an extreme side, that remission that was pretty amazing. But I think the ones that catch me the most are the less sensational. The ones where you hear, my dog can go on a walk with me again. My cat can climb up into the cat tree and sit and hang around in the sunshine again. Um, my dog's no longer terrified of thunderstorms. I mean, those are the ones that seem to be just quality of life altering. Everything is different for that animal, for that household. Those are the ones that I really like. And I don't know that I can say that I didn't expect it, but also having it happen and having it reported was just, and still is, it's awe-inspiring. It's like, this is a really cool plant. It's really neat.
yeah, and it's affirming too to what you're doing, keep you on the path of doing that. That's very cool. I'm gonna hit you up after this, my precious pet. Yeah, yeah. You are the founder and CEO of this business, and you started at a time when hardly anybody was talking about hemp and CBD as a human consumption product, let alone for pets. I'm guessing you have some bodaciousness in you somewhere, or you wouldn't have started out on this journey. So, what is it, Dr. Brandon, that makes you bodacious, uniquely bodacious, separates you from others?
I tend to see a problem, I try to problem solve it, and I plow through it. And I don't particularly care what society says if that end outcome is good. If what I'm trying to do is truly good and helping things and helping to push an envelope and really help dogs and cats, help horses, help my patients, that's what makes me bodacious. I'll just go out there and do it. I don't care if I'm terrified, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go do it.
And then a follow-up question is, how does that impact your clients or your patients, which obviously they get better with your using your products, right? That's kind of an
They do. They have a tendency to get better. Yes, I think that it impacts them by simply making good science, good information available to them when they don't have that a lot. It's hard to tease that information out from the internet, from your friends, from your family, from your professionals that you are in contact with. And we made that available for them when it wasn't there, and we still do that. And that's where my bodaciousness helped them out.
there you go. And is there anything about your business, Canna Companion, or your products that you think would be especially beneficial for listeners to know?
I think that what really sets us apart from every other company that I found is our attention to detail and understanding of the fine points of the endocannabinoid system. It's more than just about CBD and THC. It's more than just about CBD acid and CBD, THC acid and THC. It's about all the different minor cannabinoids that are available in the plant and how each of those can just in tiny amounts affect the outcome of how the endocannabinoid system responds. For example, you add a little THCV into a hemp oil product, you're going to get a little bit better seizure control. You're going to get a little bit better neurologic response in general. So those things are our medical backgrounds really help us with that understanding, and then we can make those tiny adjustments that nobody else really understands yet.
Nice. So where can people find you?
You can find us at CannaCompanionUSA.com. We are available online. We can answer all your questions. You can give us a call. We're happy to consult with you. Just contact us. We like people. We like helping people with their pets.
Okay. And are you on Instagram?
Yes, we are. I am not allowed to do the social media. We have someone else for that.
but you're at Canna Companion?
Yes, yeah, we are at Canna Companion.
Okay. Canna Companion USA. Say that 15 times fast. CannaCompanionUSA.com.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Sarah Brandon, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.